You've had some great openings, you've had an awesome activity with explicit transferable study skills, and now it is time to close out your session with a bang.
Thanks, Hilary. In this video, we are going to talk about additional resources and why they are beneficial. We will also cover the 3 R's when it comes to closing the session, and finally we will get those mirrors out for a look at how to write a session reflection.
Additional resources can be integrated into each activity or provided towards the end of your session. They should be beneficial and should specifically relate to the content you have covered in the session. It is imperative that you provide multiple resources from various locations, such as YouTube videos, practice problems, worksheets, and useful articles. Keep in mind that you need to make these resources easily accessible, as students are unlikely to copy down lengthy web links. It's a good idea to copy and paste your links into the chat if you are delivering an online session, or email students a list of your resources if you are in the face-to-face environment.
Here's an example from a chemistry session plan which has each additional resource title and the link to follow. This makes it easy for second leaders in the online environment to copy and paste, and for future leaders to be able to utilise the same resource if they so wish. Here's another example of additional resources being presented towards the end of a session. Remember, resources should be beneficial, demonstrate variation, and be easy to access for the student. If promoting a single resource, it's a great idea to incorporate a screenshot, or in the face-to-face environment, bring this resource up on the projector for them to see.
In your groups, once again, take a couple of minutes to go over this example additional resource slide. From what you know now, how would you change this to maximise its potential? Pause the video now to discuss.
You're so close to ending the session. All that's left to do now is the 3 R's: reiterate, reinforce, and remind. This can all be done on a single slide, in person or online, where you can reiterate the content you've covered in your session, reinforce your study skill, and finally, remind the students of anything noteworthy that's coming up. This is also where you should include a hook for your next session, an incentive that will entice them to return next week.
Here's what your session closure should look like on your session plan. Remember to ensure your plan is detailed and contains all appropriate information. Here's some examples of great closure slides which show the 3 R's being used. Students will see a greater benefit from attending PASS if they are reminded about what they covered and can see their study skill applied again after they have put it to use in their activities.
You did it! You finished the session and the students got a lot out of it. Immediately after the session is the time to conduct your written reflection on your session plan. Reflections should be in-depth and honest. You should offer an insight into group dynamics and the interest in each activity. If something didn't go as planned, you should consider how you could improve this if you ran it again. Reflections are how we grow as leaders and should be taken seriously.
On the screen, there are 2 reflections. For your last activity in your groups, take a couple of minutes to write down what makes the top reflection a good one. Additionally, write down what could be improved for the bottom reflection. Pause the video now to discuss. We are sure you had a great discussion. A good reflection includes discussion on each activity that was ran, highlights issues from the session and offers solutions or ideas on how to work around these if the session was to be run again, and offers insight into group dynamics and shows that the leader has truly thought about how the session ran. A bad reflection shows no definitive reflection on the activities that were run, offers no solution or ideas for the issues encountered in the session, and it is not useful for future session development. Bad reflections show that the leader has not put much thought into their reflection and sees the reflection as more of a chore than a developmental tool. Remember to schedule in time after your session has ended to complete your reflection right away so you get maximum benefit and development as a PASS leader.
We made it to the end. Thanks for joining us in this 3-part series on prime practice in PASS. We look forward to seeing you put what you've learnt into practice. Don't forget, you can find all supporting material we have mentioned, including all of these presentation slides, on the Griffith Sciences PASS org site for you to access at any time.
Thanks again, and we'll see you soon in PASS.